Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the hidden stories within corporate filings. Today we are looking at Ondas Holdings. Now, you know how sometimes companies act like they are always in trouble and need to sell something? Well, let's see if this filing is just a routine paperwork party or something more. Make sure you are subscribed for these insights and join our Discord community, linked in the description, for more insider chat. This is a report that companies file when something big happens that investors need to know about right away. Think of it as a company's way of shouting important news from the rooftops. Our focus today is Ondas Holdings Incorporated. They are a Nevada incorporated company and their stock trades on the Nasdaq. They are telling us about some shares that are being made available for others to sell. So here is the main event. On the 8th of January 2026, Ondas Holdings announced that they put in filings for over 1.6 million shares of their common stock to be resolved by certain stockholders. Now, why is this a big deal? These shares actually come from a deal where Ondas Holdings bought all of another company called Sentry CS. Limited. This acquisition happened earlier, back in November of 2025. So, the people who got these shares in that deal now have the green light to sell them to the public. We are talking about common stock here, which is basically the regular stock that most people own. It has a very small par value, meaning its stated value on paper is tiny, just 1/10,000th of a dollar. The important part is that these are shares that can now be traded on the open market. The company is saying that the way these shares were initially handed out is allowed under specific rules, Regulation S and Regulation D. These rules let companies offer securities in certain ways without needing to go through the full public registration process up front. This is often done in private placements or in exchange for acquisitions like this one. What this means is that the company is not issuing new shares now, but rather, it is making it possible for existing shareholders to sell what they already have. To make sure everything is legally sound, they've included an opinion from a law firm, Snell and Wilmer. LLP, this is standard practice to confirm that the shares are legally okay to be distributed and traded. This legal opinion is part of the exhibits, which are like attachments to the main report. Exhibit 5.1 contains this opinion. Ondas Holdings common stock is indeed registered and traded on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol ONS. This is the main ticker you would look for if you were interested in trading their shares. The report is signed by Eric Abrock, the Chief Executive Officer of Ondas Holdings Incorporated. So the top person in the company is putting his name on this filing, showing that it is officially from the company. Now, what does all this mean for Ondas Holdings? This filing itself doesn't give us hard numbers on revenue or profit for the quarter, since it is not a financial report like a 10Q. Instead, it is all about the shares. The company acquired Sentry CS Limited by issuing some stock as part of that deal. Now, those who received that stock in the acquisition can sell it. This is often called a secondary offering when existing shareholders are selling. From a company perspective, this simply allows for liquidity for the shareholders who received those shares as part of the acquisition. It doesn't necessarily mean the company is in distress, but it does mean there will be more shares of Ondas Holdings floating around in the market. For investors, this typically means an increase in the total number of shares outstanding that are available to be bought and sold. This can sometimes put downward pressure on the stock price if demand doesn't keep pace with the increased supply, though it is also a sign that the original acquisition was intended to be partly stock-based. Looking at the broader picture for Ondas Holdings, they operate in the broadband wireless communication space. This is a competitive field, and companies in this sector often rely on acquisitions to expand their technology or market reach. The acquisition of Sentry CS Limited was likely a strategic move to bolster their offerings. The fact that they are now allowing these shares to be resolved suggests that integration of Sentry CS Limited went as planned from the company's point of view, and the shareholders who received stock expect to benefit from its public trading. One key thing to consider is why this report is being filed now. Usually, there is a period after an acquisition where these shares cannot be immediately resolved. By filing this now, Ondas is fulfilling its obligations and allowing market forces to determine the value of those shares. It's important for investors to understand that this isn't a sign of financial trouble for Ondas itself, but rather a step in the process of integrating an acquisition and providing an exit for those who took part in it. In terms of risks and opportunities, Ondas Holdings is positioned in a growing market for wireless solutions. However, they face competition from larger players and must continually innovate. The success of their acquisitions, like Sentry CS Limited, is crucial, and enabling the resale of shares from such deals is part of demonstrating that those acquisitions are proceeding as envisioned. Overall, this particular filing is more procedural than indicative of immediate financial performance. It signals a completion of a stage in their post-acquisition process. The main takeaway is that an additional block of Ondas Holdings shares will soon be available for trading, which is a normal consequence of issuing stock as payment for an acquisition. For the company, it signifies that they are moving forward with their strategic plans. Alright, that is our quick decode of Ondas Holdings' 8K filing. What is your take on this share resale and what it might mean for the stock? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate insights. And don't forget to join the conversation on our Discord, linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.